Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Well, I want to show you my Zwift setup, and then we'll have some footage of the ride I just did, which is why I'm already sweaty and breathing. But this is my new All City Cosmic Stallion on the trainer. So we'll start here. This is a Wahoo Kicker trainer. The Kicker is the top of the line one. They have a new version of this out, but this is still pretty good, and it's got the arms that allow for a little bit of movement of the bike, so it feels a little more natural. Then over here I just have my Windows. It's a gaming PC, a little older, but it's one of those ROG gaming computers, so it works pretty good for Zwift. And then up here I have my keyboard and mouse set up wirelessly to the computer. So it's not the perfect setup, but it works because I just hooked the HDMI from the computer to the big TV up there, which is a 4K TV. So it looks really good up there just through HDMI, and it works out. So then everything else is up here. So I have little slots on this table, which is designed for this, to have my goo packets and stuff. Water bottle, I usually do one with some type of mixture, energy mixture, and then the other with plain water. Remote for the TV. This is a remote because it's winter time, for a heater that's over there. So I can turn the heater on and off if it starts to get too chilly down here. And then you'll see the game on the monitor in the YouTube footage, or the GoPro footage that I'm about to show. And then the key to this whole thing is that fan. So there's two ways to set it up. You can have it set up by your heart rate or by your speed. I like everything to feel pretty natural and realistic, so I go by speed. And then, you know, the faster I go in the game, the more wind blows. And then when I'm climbing, I get less wind, kind of how it is in the real world, right? Unless it's a windy day, of course. And then it's a headwind when you're climbing, and then that sucks. Wind isn't factored in this game as far as I know, but definitely hills and things like that. So this is a smart trainer that'll add resistance, and it's synced with the game, and I'll talk a little bit about that in the game. But if you do ever plan to get a setup like this, I highly recommend getting a direct drive trainer where your chain goes right onto the cassette that goes right into the trainer. There's quite a few out there. This one's expensive, like $1,200-$1,300. You can get direct on trainers for around $500. There are trainers where you leave the wheel on and then the tire goes on the roller, and they're smart ones that'll add resistance, but I never had luck with those. My tire was always spinning, and they weren't very accurate and very good. So get a direct drive if you go this route. And the Zwift actually makes their own that is a single speed one, and then the shifting is virtual with little levers up here. So if you have a mountain bike or a one-by drivetrain, that would be pretty slick, because then you don't have to worry about the lack of gear ratios that you have. You just can set it up and do the virtual shifting, and I heard it's pretty good. So lots of options in trainers. I'll put a couple links in the description. So yeah, this is going to be the Legends in Lava course. It's 15.3 miles, but I think it's like a little over 1,000, like 1,100 feet of climbing. You want to see what I look like in the game? There you go. Got the lava outfit on and a red bike. I try to match up my gear, except for the socks don't match because I just recently earned these spotted socks, and so they don't have red. So orange is as close as I could get. So when I do this, I tend to like to be, where's my view again? Here it is. This is like first person, this is third person. You can be back a little further, closer. But I like this view because it just makes me feel like I'm more on my bike, because I have my handlebars and stuff down here. Would be kind of cool if they had handlebars on there. So this is what I do to stay fit over the winter time. If you don't know what Zwift is, I'll show you a few things on here that are kind of cool. We'll show you the screen. Up on the upper left over there, that's how many watts I'm putting out. I'm just gonna get warmed up here. I do have steering. You can see that I can steer left and right. I have that enabled. I just have to be careful when my turns are coming that I don't steer the wrong way, because that'll cancel my route that I have pre-planned here. So watts, RPM, so I'm a little too low right now, and then that's my heart rate. So I just got started, so my heart rate's pretty low. So here you can see this down below. That's going to take me to Titan's Grove. It's kind of a little climby section, but it looks cool. If I wanted to go right, I could actually steer right. Zwift enabled that recently, and then I would go on the right course, but then my route would cancel out, and then I would just be riding all by myself however I want. Cool. So let's talk about what's up here. That top row, 18 miles per hour, obvious, that's my speed. 0.4 miles, that's the distance I've gone so far. I've only climbed 1 foot, but that's about to change here. We'll talk about this over on the right in a second. It's how long I've been riding, almost 2 minutes. So cool. And then where you see that little bit of orange, that progress bar, that's my level progress bar. So that'll slowly move to the right as I accumulate points, and we'll see. Technically I'm at 0.6 miles right now. When I get to a mile, I should get 32 points, and hopefully I'm paying attention by the time we get there. So that 28 is my current level. So that's how far I've gotten in Zwift since I've started my membership a few years ago. That thing, the little blue pill box right there is just saying that I have steering on. Right? Then if you go over here, there's a little bit longer pillbox with a pretty sizable number, 1,315,000. That is how many drops I've accumulated. Drops is like money in this game. So if you've ever played other games like Grand Theft Auto or whatever, you earn money and then you can go buy stuff. So you can go in and buy upgraded bike parts and things like that. I just realized I'm gonna pause and turn this light off because I realize it's reflecting on the screen there, because I want to talk about this map over here. Okay, back to going. So that's my drops there, and then underneath is this course there. The 32 experience points just went off, so every mile I'll gain 32 experience points, and that moves that orange bar, but every so slightly. So you can see it says Legends, and then it's ellipsed off, but that's the route I'm on. This person has the same last name as I do right here, Holland. Funny. So that bar there is my route progress. So I've gone 1.2 miles and I have 14.1 miles remaining. So let's talk about the map over here. This can get confusing. So I'm on a pretty hilly part, and you can see the aerial kind of view of where I'm at. That's pretty obvious. I'm the little orange triangle there. And then where you see that 4%, 3%, that's the percent climbing I'm doing right now. And then now I'm gonna start going downhill. So -5, -7. These are gonna be rolling hills. So then I climb, And what's cool about this is I have a Wahoo Kicker Smart Trainer, so as I go up and down these hills, it changes the resistance on my trainer, and it's pretty accurate. It's kind of cool. I'll talk a little bit about that in a few seconds, but let's finish this map. So you'll see the little elevation kind of map, or that kind of hilly route, and then that little orange spot. That can be confusing because that map, I could be going this direction on it or that direction, and I sometimes don't know, right? It doesn't flip like the one in the upper right corner to always be going that direction. So it's kind of interesting. Don't know why, but it is what it is. It's always been like that. And then this big thing on the right, long list, is just other riders out there in the world. These are actual people on trainers somewhere doing the same thing I'm doing. They're not, I mean, I'm sure there are some bots out there who are testing riders and stuff, but for the most part, they're all real people trying this out, doing this. It's pretty cool. And you can meet up with friends and ride together. All kinds of cool stuff on here. So, all right, I'm gonna finish this climb, and then I want to talk a little bit about how this resistance works. So this part's pretty cool. I'm doing this short KOM here, which is this climb, and that's my last time that I was on here, or it's actually my fastest last time. So that rider up there is actually me from a past ride, and it is currently beating me right now. So you can kind of use that and gauge your progress or try to beat it, but it always varies depending on where I'm at in a ride or how long of a ride I'm doing. I'm doing a little longer ride today, more climbing, so I don't want to push myself super hard to try to beat my last run, otherwise I'll burn myself out. So this info up here are the other riders that have done this climb. So 5th place, 157, and every time my time goes longer, then I see the next placement, and then you can see my ETA at the rate I'm going right now, 306, and that's probably that rider up there, my ghost rider. Did it in 236 before. Not gonna beat it today. Okay, so I did that KOM. You can see my placement over there on the left. I also earned, it's kind of like a little spinner thing, and it randomly picks an assist, and that is if I wanted some drafting. So if I go up here and click on it, I'll get a drafting boost. Sometimes it's there's a feather which makes your bike lighter, drafting boost, there's a couple others. And so now on this downhill, you notice that I'm going a bit faster because I'm getting a drafting boost. So speaking of drafting, if I was to find another rider going fast and I tuck behind them, I actually can draft just like you do in real life. If you're out doing road rides and stuff, a lot of times you take turns doing the lead and drafting. You can do the same thing here, and it is etiquette actually if you draft for a while to push a little harder and allow them to draft you. just like it is when you're out on a real ride. Nobody to draft at the moment though, but it does work. It actually makes your pedaling much easier, and you can pick up speed. Oh, look at that, there's a dinosaur. Is that a brontosaurus or something? So this is a fictional world called Watopia. There's a pterodactyl. Gosh, I'm so rusty on my dinosaurs. And I know there's a T-Rex around here somewhere. Okay, what I want to talk about is how cool the resistance is in this game. Fairly realistic. So as I'm going through these rolling hills, if my speed is higher, like if I pedal harder here and get up a good speed, it'll help me get over the next hump easier, just like you would do in real life. So look at, we're at 23, 24 miles per hour. And see, I can almost just coast over this roll. I hardly lose any speed because I went into it with a lot of momentum. But if I was going really slow into that hill, then the resistance would be a lot harder to get up and over it. I gotta be careful here not to take myself off my route. There we go. So it's kind of cool in that sense, and the resistance is based on your speed, which is also cool. So if you're starting from a complete stop, you need to be in an easier gear to start out. And then if you wanna, and then you shift as you gain more speed, because the pedaling gets easier and easier and easier. And then if you like want to do a boost of speed, like let's say I want to catch up to that guy, if I'm in this harder gear, you're gonna have to work hard, right? But if I downshift and get my RPMs up there, I can add a lot more watts quicker and pick up my speed. See, now I got up to 31. So it's kind of like real biking. When you want that burst of speed, you can downshift, pedal, spin, and then you upshift again. So it's really accurate in that sense. It's kind of cool. So let's make this turn first. I'll show you. Okay, now I'm gonna coast to a stop, hopefully before the downhill up here. Although that isn't gonna help me prove my point. Brakes don't really work in this game. I think if you get one of the really fancy bike trainers, I think you do have brakes. Okay, so here I am, and I'm in a harder gear right now. I didn't downshift much, so it's hard to get going. So what I want to do is downshift into a really easy gear, start pedaling, right? And then when I start spinning, shift up, pedal, get my RPMs up. And see, as I get up into higher miles per hour, I need to get into a higher gear. So that part of the game is super accurate. So I had a friend that I was riding with once, and he kept trying to like sprint to keep up with me or pass me, and he was talking about how hard it was and how he felt that resistance was inaccurate. And I asked him, I said, did you downshift to sprint? Did you downshift to get your RPMs up there? Because the game's really accurate, like you would have to do in real life. He was like, oh no, I didn't realize it would be that accurate. He thought he could just pedal harder and it would just go. So that was kind of interesting. Who's this person? Look at that. Look at that forearm and bicep. How do you get to look like that in the game? I don't think I do. Check all my views. See what my, oh, I guess I do. A little over exaggerated there. I wish my arms looked like that. So that was all I wanted to show you. I'm gonna finish out this ride. So yeah, that was a little bit of what it's like to actually be riding Zwift. And I showed you the different views. I tend to like the one where I'm looking first person. But it's pretty cool. This is how I get through winter. It's also something I have been able to continue doing even with the back issues that I've had. Although that's getting a lot better. I'll do an update on that in a few days. But yeah, I'm pretty surprised at the results from getting that injection. So there you have it. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.